Heya! It's me, Wild Neptune. And this is going to be an episode video that's all about one of the most spectacular patch updates we have seen in a long time. It's a big one. It's a good one. A lot of stuff. I already know most of you are going to want to check out the new Moonlight Hero coming out in a couple of weeks. Archdemon Mercedes. We will get to her and SC Carmine Rose. Let's go to the update notice really quickly first, because there is some good stuff in this also people should be aware about. Let's go down the list here. First up, we have Chapter 3. Oh, sorry. I guess it is... Sorry. Episode 3. Chapter 5. Winterberg of the past. Going into the time warp all the way back to... where, like, Alencia and Luna's mom, Cecilia's mom, aunt, I don't know, was also, I think, around this time. So, good stuff. Get your Sky Stones, bookmarks, other bonus stuff. Very nice. I don't know why these are like... What's the point of capitalizing these? Why are random words capitalized? Maybe it's like a code. Anyway, the challenges, AP shop. Like, nobody's gonna farm these stages. So, like, I don't know what the point of having these here are. Here's a ring. It's a pretty good, health ring for, like, a Wyvern team. Like, for your tank, I guess, honestly. It's probably... If you're at the stage where you can, like, farm enough to get to here, it's honestly probably not worth buying. But it is a decent ring overall for a free ring. The last chapter of the side story will be coming out here. And we get this really cool looking, like, storybook type map we can go into. We have a Molagora challenge, which is nice. And more friendship stuff for the fire lanterns. Also, there's Cirilla here in, like, the shop. But it seems like she's not, like, farmable in this like side story chapter here. Otherwise, I feel like they would have mentioned it. Alright, skipping down a little bit. The next two banners are Shermia and Celine. Shermia is good. Definitely a strong hero, but I think one who is, you know, worth skipping on. Celine is in a pretty good spot right now. She's really strong against the A-Lot CDOM like teams in RTA. And you might force... If you're a good drafter, she can do a lot of work for you. I don't know, though, if she's worth pulling on. Because she is a very... Like, she's a niche unit, but if you do a lot of RTA, maybe it's worth it. Do keep in mind, though, that... Cerise did come out in February last year, so she might be around the corner. Also, too, Alencia is coming next week, and she's also a pretty strong hero, although she has fallen off a little bit. On top of that, they have announced Alencia's side story for next week, too, so we can finally see some of her origins. They also have this change right here, which is Very nice. So with Side Story, you know how they had that thing where like you have easy, normal, hard, hell mode? And when you want to do the next difficulty, you go back out, then go back in. Not anymore. Now you can do it with like one button. Best change ever. Alright. I also read this here, where initially when the time limit was consumed when the contact by certain heroes would be fixed. This is really annoying, because a lot of times, like, counters would happen, and, like, I'd be like, where's my turn? Like, because I'm supposed to get, like, what, like 30 seconds? And sometimes I would get, like, 5 seconds. I'm like, what happened? Anyway, like, so, like, hopefully that'll be, fixed up. Also, other things, too, is that you'll be able to use, ice cubes from, your thingy. So these things here. And it'll be, I think it looks like it'll be a separate one. Right, so let me look at my, items here. Wait, where are they? Alright. Hello? So instead of using, equipment, these ice cubes you have, you can use to, get more charms, which is okay, because I'm sure a lot of people, like me, have, like, this accidentally ice cube, like, stuff that isn't things you're gonna convert anyway. So, that's pretty decent. Zealot. Carmen Rose. Looking very Harley Quinn-esque. My god. When I first saw her outfit, whew, man. Anyway. So, Fire Mage, obviously, her stats gonna be the same as her Honesty version. Obviously with some upgrades though from runes and stuff. But let's see. There's some nice concept art for her here. Looks very nice. Alright. So S3 was already decent. She's an S3 that can dispel all buffs from enemies. And she gets like a attack and defense increase for 2 turns, which is nice. But now she also makes them unevenly buffed for 2 turns. So now we have a fire Bazaar. Doesn't push back though, right? So not quite as good as Bazaar. But she does some other cool things too. So here they show her, like, in Golem, doing things, right? Honestly, I would probably, if you're gonna raise it just for Golem, I probably would not do that. Golem just isn't worth doing right now. Here's some runes here. So increased defense, 10% defense is good. Like health is good. And I don't know why this says speed, but it's crit damage. This has to be like a translation. This has to be like Intern-kun messing up, right? Because like there is a speed rune that increases speed. This is like not that. Anyway, you know, extra stats are good always. So there are actually 2 effectiveness things, but they only work. So here's the thing, like this is like nice, right? It's technically 50 extra effectiveness. I don't know why they had to put it on 2 separate ones. I think, okay, like one of them could have been just for like in total, right? So like maybe the 20% one could have been for all enemies, and the 30% could have been for only Earth element. And I feel like that would be okay, right? So 50 for Earth elements and like 20 for like all other ones. I think that would have been fine. Just 50 just for Earth seems pretty bad. It's like, I don't know like where you would use it besides Golem. Right? Right now. Which I already said you should not do. Also, her damage increases when the target has no buffs by 10%, which is pretty good because she strips buffs. Her skill 1, her S1 does absorb some damage. And if the enemy is an Earth hero, it can make them unhealable, which is nice because the Golem does get healed by the tree. Again, don't do Golem though. Like, they definitely show her in Golem a lot, right? Like does Smilegate think that people actually do Golem? Like, you know, I mean, okay. I know people do Golem, but serious players don't, right? Her skill 2 decreases CR by 35%, and decreases speed, and increases the caster speed, which is a good skill. This is like a really good skill for a 3-star hero. So you get another 5% decrease, 40% is, you know, not bad. Right. She also gets a 5% chance to get greater attack buff when she uses a 3rd skill. I'm going to assume, I think in the video they show it. Did they show it? And also, when the buffs are dispelled, it increases the CR by the ally with the highest attack, except for her, by 20%, which is nice. So I'm pretty sure they show, let me see if they show the greater attack. Wait. Okay, I think the greater attack happens after. It's hard to tell. Let's rewatch it. Because I can't see like what buff. Okay, it looks like it procced after. If it procced like during the S3, right? So you S3 and you got the greater attack buff when you S3'd, it would be a lot better. Doing it after you do the S3 though isn't like as good, especially when the chance is really low. But I guess I'll have to like test it out when it comes out, which I can't actually do because I don't actually have a Carmine Rose on my account. Because is she worth doing? Like, do you want to invest your resources into getting her up? Probably not. Like, I think she doesn't do enough things in PvP for that. And in PvE, maybe in like some Holo Trials she could be good in, because unhealable is one of the debuffs that sometimes is required for the high scores. However, that is kind of offset by the fact that maybe the best Holo Trials hero in the game, well, like besides Tamarin, in Kitty Clarissa, has unhealable on her S2. So it's like, don't really know if it's worth getting. Oh, she also has speed down too. which is also another debuff that sometimes you might need for Hall of Trials. But I'd say for her, wait until people try her out a little bit and give their final opinions on. But for the main event, Archdemon Shadow. Okay, first of all, they did like a whole thing about how the Archdemon Shadow like split apart from like Mercedes and got her own, you know, will and personality. And it's like, so there's a whole thing that happened like after it split apart. But it's like, where was it, like, in the lore? What has she been doing all this time? Like, you know, it seems to be like a fairly powerful entity that Roz, Mercedes, everybody is just like ignoring. So, imprint release health, concentration attack. The way you get the imprints is kind of annoying. We'll, towards the end of the video, right? We will talk about that a little bit. Her statting, you know, okay. Good attack, low health, okay speed, like, not fast, right? Not like snail pace. You know, I'd say a little bit below what you might want it to be. Pretty high defense overall for a mage though. So, no crit chance or crit damage modifiers, and you know, 80% effectiveness, which is going to be an important skill for her. So, her first skill is the important one. At max molas, it is a 75% chance to seal the enemy for 2 turns before attacking. Seal is a new passive, and it stops passive a new debuff, which stops passives from activating. This is really good. So, it only applies to heroes, right? So it's not. So she's not going to be a PvE hero. See right there, the T-Seren was sealed away, right? And normally, her passive would suffer from dying, but see, she still died there, which is really nice. Her skill 2, she has a built-in adamant shield in her kit with a max of 30% decreased damage when this is fully skilled up, so she has more survivability. This is good. It's a little bit less good sometimes because of all like the true damage and stuff coming out that don't crit, but you know, it's still a good thing to have. Also, after she uses her S1, which is Touch of Chaos, she has a chance to activate another passive she has, and she attacks all enemies and decreases hit chance for 1 turn, and increases her own CR by 25%, which is pretty good. And the chance is doubled if target sealed, which is pretty good. So let's see it here in action. So there's the S1, and she procs the passive, right? 3. This attacks all enemies with a pretty high chance. So 100% chance at max to inflict 2 burns for 2 turns. Also can't trigger counterattack because of course it doesn't. And also gives her an extra turn. It is on a pretty... And also, no cooldown, so it's a focus attack, right? And I think only S1 gives focus. Right? Yeah, only one focus. So she does gain focus kind of slowly. But and she doesn't gain it like other ways. So her focus gain is going to be a little slower than usual. So you're probably not going to be able to use this as often as, say, Landy's S3 or like Ravi's S3. But, you know, built an extra turn is pretty good. So what they're going to do is, after her rotation, in the Mystic Coin Shop,
I have lots of good wares. Take your time.
Where you have to get dupes of MO5s to get these coins. So you get 10 per dupe, right? So not only do you need 4 dupes to buy an ML hero, you also have to like have not bought anything else. And honestly, like buying either the molas or like the reforging stuff maybe, or like these like this gear, if you get good gear, is probably more important overall. You get 40 of them. After her rotation, they're gonna add a copy of her to the shop. So technically, if you just had like a bunch of ML dupes, you don't even have to pull on the Mystic Banner. You can just buy her like after she leaves rotation, once a month, right? You can buy her. You know, which is, on one hand, it's okay because it means that eventually, if you just play enough, you might be able to just buy her for free without summoning her. On the other hand, it is like hard to get MO5 dupes. So it's like a little bit of tiny bit of good with like a bunch of like crap, right? The way that works. So like I'm going to assume the general feelings on how that works with the community is not going to be positive. But just a real quick rundown on things that, you know, she counters. Also, if you're wondering what a passive skill is, I'm going to assume it's only things like this, like, so S2 passives. So things that are like not activated. So something like, let's find one here. Like, say, Rowana. Her S2 will not heal or get the CR boost, right? From counterattacks. But her S1, I'm pretty sure, will still give a barrier. Because it's activated by an effect that she's actively using. If it like stops stuff like this, I think Seal would be way too good. So I'm almost positive, like, again, because they didn't actually show anybody on the enemy team attacking, it's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure that effects that happen by things being used don't activate. But like effects like the S2 will not. Again, we're probably not going to know until people actually try her out. But that's what I'm assuming is going to be the case. But really quickly, let's look at some of the Bennett heroes that she just stops from working. Like Ravi, I'm pretty sure she won't get stuff like a CR boost. Her attack and effectiveness boost are going to be turned off. Won't get Finding Spirit. Kairon won't proc Immortality. Unfortunately, because this is an active skill, which is affected by this active skill, I'm pretty sure Charles actually can still double dunk. Not positive again, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually work against him. So, keep moving down the list here. Things like Elena won't get her, you know, S2 that goes off. Ruana, we already saw, will not heal on Zero Boost. Alencia no longer gets Mind's Eye. Celine will not S2. Mort, I mean, this already never procs anyway, so, you know, it doesn't matter. Landy no longer gets her, passive buffs there. FCC no longer gives a barrier. Dork Corvus no longer gets a skill cooldown from critical hits. Arby doesn't revive. Not extinction, but he doesn't revive. So, small difference. A-Ravi doesn't heal. Berseria doesn't get her hit chance bonus. Haste will not give barriers and immunity when somebody revives. MO Ken will not counter. I'm going to assume too that the seal takes priority over a Titan's passive, so it also turns off like a Tywin's and Caesar Rattle's passive. I'm going to assume. MO Crowd doesn't give barrier on AoE anymore. Remnant Valet will not gain evasion buff if you get rid of it somehow. SSB should not gain focus, and I'm pretty sure it also turns on the damage sharing. Fairy Tail Tenebria won't proc her Shuffle. Now, one of the more interesting ones is Spectre, right? So, I'm pretty sure it's gonna work like, let's say Spectre S3s a Archdemon Mercedes, well, Archdemon Shadow, with an S3, and the Mercedes is on a counter set, and she counters and hits Seal on the Spectre Tenebria. Then, I think, when that happens, the Spectre is no longer stealth, and you can attack her, which is, you know, might actually happen sometimes. I don't know, because I do feel like a counter build is gonna be viable on Archdemon Mercedes. But if you enjoyed this video and want to see others like it, if you want to see more of Archdemon Mercedes, I'd like you to all hit that like and subscribe button, leave comments on content you want to see in the future. Anyway, I am Wild Neptune. Nep out.